afternoon, everyone, and welcome to UCLA. I'm Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Scott Waugh. It's a very special occasion whenever we welcome a new member to the Bruin family, a new leader in the Bruin community, not just for the department involved, in this case athletics, but for the entire university. Unfortunately, our Chancellor, Chancellor Block, was unable to join us here today. He had previously scheduled business in Japan and China and is traveling. But before he left, he had a chance to interview Coach Mora and gave his complete blessing to Dan for this move. He gave Dan his complete support and blessing, and he relayed to me his very positive feelings coming out of that meeting. So I am very pleased to represent the Chancellor here today at this wonderful occasion. So without further ado, I want to introduce our superb athletic director, Dan Guerrero. Please, Dan.
Thank you, Scott. It indeed is a joy to be here. Quite a wonderful day today for all of the Bruin family. I want to thank you also for expressing those words on behalf of the Chancellor. I want to not only welcome Jim to the family, but also Jim's family to the Bruin family. Shannon and Ryder and Trey, two of his 4 children, are here with us today. Lilia and Cole remain back home going to school, but we'll see a lot of them in the coming days and weeks. You know, when I last addressed the media, it was about 2 weeks ago to the day, we talked about the need to go far and wide to look for our next head football coach. And in fact, we did that, and we found our man in Seattle. In getting to know Jim during the process, it became very clear to us that we had a special individual here. Had the opportunity to speak to many people in the football world who had the pleasure of crossing paths with Jim along the way. Individuals that worked with him, individuals that worked for him, and individuals that played with him. And to the person, they talk about the fact that he is a leader of men, that he is a terrific football coach, and that he was the right person for us to be able to hire to move our program into Pac-12 and obviously BCS championship caliber program. I know that Jim is a very disciplined individual, very motivated, and it brings a lot to the table from that standpoint, something that we were really looking for in this program. Without further ado, I can tell you on behalf of everyone here at the UCLA family, it's a delight to have Jim and his family here with us. We know he's going to do a great job as our 17th head football coach here at UCLA. Ladies and gentlemen, the new head football coach, Jim Mora. You got it.
I'm going to take this off for a minute here. I just want to say how honored and humbled I am that Chancellor Block and Dan Guerrero have selected me to be the head football coach here at UCLA. I also want to recognize my beautiful wife, Shannon, and my 2 youngest kids, Trey and Ryder, and just tell you how excited all of us are to be a part of the Bruin community. Behind every coach, there is a tremendous woman, and I am very lucky to have that in my wife of 19 years, Shannon. And thanks for being here, guys. Our objective here is simple, and that is to make Bruin fans proud of their football team. It's been a tough decade for UCLA football. This is a program that has always represented academic and athletic excellence. And I look forward to the challenge of returning this football team to prominence. I'm going to work hard to assemble the finest football staff, coaching staff in college football. I want guys that are great coaches, great recruiters, great mentors for our young student athletes. And we're going to fill this team with student athletes who will be winners both on the field and in the classroom. I'm going to look for great players who are great competitors, who love to play football, who are mentally and physically tough. We're going to put them with coaches that I just mentioned, that love to coach, that love to compete, that want to mentor our young people, and we're going to go try to win a bunch of football games. Now, I don't want to stand up here today, my first day, and make any bold predictions or outlandish statements. I'm going to let our actions going forward speak for us. But I will say this. Our objective is and always will be to win Pac-12 championships and compete for the national championship. So with that, I'll take your questions. Yes, sir.
Going to be delivered to you and speak into the mic, and please state your name and affiliation when asking questions.
Brett from KTLA. What changes do you think you're going to make to get the team started next year?
Excuse me, I didn't hear the question.
First changes you want to make to the team to get ready for next year?
Well, I think it's a little early to talk right now about what changes need to be made. I think what's important is that I get in here and evaluate all aspects of our football program and then determine which way to move from there.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
Jim Hill.
Hi, Jim.
First of all,
Great.
congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
A couple of questions I'd like to ask you. One is, what was the deciding factor for you to come to UCLA? And secondly, how will your experiences in the NFL help these young men who have aspirations of going to the next level?
I'll take the first question first. This is a proud institution. It's an outstanding academic institution. I say that it's a sleeping giant in college football. I was on this campus when I was a young man when my dad coached here for a year with Dick Vermeil, and so I have some familiarity with this program. I've been a Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-8 guy most of my life, and I've always felt like this was a program, a university that you could build into a special place, a place where you could win with consistency, where you could win doing it the right way with kids that were not only committed to being great football players, great athletes, but also great students and then great leaders in our community. And so that was very, very appealing to me. This was the job that I wanted, and I was fortunate to get this job. I think that my experiences in the National Football League can help me in a number of ways. And very briefly, I've been very fortunate to be around some of the finest football players in the history of the game, whether it was coaching them or working with them or just being around them. Guys like Dan Fouts in my early years, Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott when I was with the 49ers. Of course, I didn't coach them, but they were always around the organization. Michael Irvin, Marshall Faulk, guys like that. And I think the experiences that I've been able to garner from being with those types of men, I have an understanding of what it takes to be a good football player. And I think that I can impart that into our student athletes. Well, number one, I think what's important to recognize is this is an inviting place to go to school. This is an inviting place to live. This is a gorgeous campus. I had the opportunity today to walk around this campus for a few minutes. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't gotten to see it all, but it's an inviting place to go to school. So I think the school, the environment, sells itself, which doesn't mean we won't sell it, because we will. I think the opportunity to play in a great climate in the Pac-12 and stay at home while doing it, when we're talking in regards to the local athletes, is very inviting. Offer these kids a chance to play for a tremendous coaching staff. They will be very impressed with the coaching staff that we put together. And give them a chance to be a part of something new, something fresh, and something that's going to be special.
Jim, Joe McDonald with FoxSportsWest.com. What are your thoughts about having to recruit now? It's something obviously in the pros you really didn't have to do, and now you're going to be, talking to the parents of 17, 18-year-old kids in houses. Is that something that appeals to you?
It does. It might be the thing that I'm most looking forward to right now is getting out and getting into homes, getting in front of parents, getting in front of these kids. One of the things that was so appealing to me about coaching in college football was the ability to have an impact on a young man's life, and not only on the football field, but mentoring him into becoming the person that you think he can become. And I'm excited about going out and recruiting. I can't wait to get going. I plan on starting today. And it'll be a challenge. It'll certainly be a challenge, but it's something that I'm really looking forward to.
Ted Sobel, KFWD Radio. Right?
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of your father.
Okay, thank you.
He's the greatest coach
I am
in
too.
NFL history that didn't win a Super Bowl.
Thank you.
How much did you learn from him that will take you to this level, make you a great college coach? And secondly, do you prefer BCS or playoff?
Are you trying? I know what you're trying. He thinks I'm going to fall for that one, huh? Thank you for the compliments about my dad. I concur with you. I think he's a great coach, but more than that, I think he's a great man, and he's taught me a lot about integrity, respect for the game, honesty, and I think our coaching our coaching styles are somewhat similar. We're both very disciplined. We're hard-headed. We're passionate. We want toughness. We want discipline on our football team, and I was very fortunate not only to grow up in a household like I did, but I also had the opportunity to coach with my dad for 5 years in New Orleans. And it was a tough experience, but it was the greatest experience of my life because I got to see up close, what it was like to be a head coach, not only at the office, but away from the game. And I learned a lot about how to handle things that I think will help me going forward.
Any chance you'll have him involved in this?
He'll be the #1 UCLA Bruin fan in Palm Desert, California, and he and my mother will be at games, and I'm sure he'll be around practice. They're not here today, but it's interesting. My mom graduated from USC. My dad got his master's from USC, and they are 100% UCLA Bruin, 100%.
Anyone else? Okay, we will now break down for print group on the right, or on my left, and then television one-on-ones here on the right.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it.